Maybe the reason life feels so heavy right now is not because the dream is too big. Maybe it is because you have made the path too complicated. Welcome to Success Mind. Look around for a moment. Life today feels faster than ever. Advice comes from every direction. One expert says do this. Another says do the opposite. One person tells you success requires 10 steps. Another says there are 50. Soon your mind becomes crowded, overwhelmed, confused. You start with excitement, a new goal, a new dream, a new plan. But the more information you collect, the heavier the journey begins to feel. Have you ever experienced that moment? When motivation slowly turns into frustration, you want to improve your life. You want to build something meaningful. You want to move forward. But suddenly, there are too many strategies, too many methods, too many rules. And instead of taking action, you pause. You analyze. You overthink. And days begin to pass without movement. Weeks become months. Months become years. Dreams slowly gather dust. But what if the real problem is not your discipline? What if the problem is complexity? What if the truth is far simpler than most people realize? Imagine waking up tomorrow with clarity. Your mind calm. Your direction clear. No overwhelming list of 50 tasks. No complicated strategy. No endless overthinking. Just one focus. One action. One step forward. Imagine the freedom of simplicity. The kind of simplicity that cuts through noise like sunlight through fog. You wake up and know exactly what matters today. You work with focus, with calm energy, with quiet determination. Small progress begins to stack, one day at a time, like bricks building a foundation. And slowly something powerful happens. Your confidence grows. Your discipline strengthens. Your results begin to appear. Not because life suddenly became easier, but because you stopped complicating the path. You simplified it. Sometimes the most powerful breakthroughs do not come from adding more. They come from removing what does not matter. There was a man who built one of the most influential global businesses in the world. His name was Hughes. He built his success around one simple principle. A principle that many people overlook because it seems almost too simple. He said, "Keep it simple." 3 words. Yet behind those words is a philosophy that has changed countless lives. Think about it. Most people complicate success. They believe success must be complicated to be valuable. They believe the process must be difficult to be real. But the truth is often the opposite. Complexity creates hesitation. Simplicity creates action. Hughes understood that people move when they understand. When something is clear, people act. When something feels overwhelming, people freeze. Let me ask you something. Have you ever delayed starting something important because it felt too complicated? Maybe you wanted to start a business, but the planning became overwhelming. Maybe you wanted to improve your health, but the programs and diets felt confusing. Maybe you wanted to pursue a dream, but the steps looked too big. Complexity is one of the greatest enemies of progress, because the human mind seeks clarity. Think about the most successful habits in the world. Drink more water, exercise daily, read every day, save money regularly. These ideas are not complicated. They are simple. But simple does not mean easy. Simple means clear, and clarity removes excuses. Hughes built his philosophy around this truth. If something is simple, people can repeat it. If people repeat it, it becomes habit. If it becomes habit, results appear. Let us imagine your goals as a mountain. Many people look at the mountain and feel overwhelmed. They see the height, the distance, the difficulty, and they stop before they begin. But what if instead of focusing on the mountain, you focused on the next step? One step forward, then another, then another. Suddenly, the impossible journey becomes a series of simple actions. That is the power of simplicity. It turns massive dreams into manageable steps. It transforms fear into movement. And movement is what creates progress. Halfway through your journey, you might realize something important. The dream was never the problem. Overthinking was. When you keep things simple, your energy flows toward action instead of confusion. If this message resonates with you, and you believe in simplifying life, building discipline, and growing step by step, consider subscribing and joining this journey. Because every video here is meant to remind you that progress does not require complexity. It requires consistency. Now think about your own life again. What area have you complicated the most? Your goals, your health, your productivity, your relationships. Sometimes we create rules that trap us. We say we must wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect strategy. But perfection delays action. Simplicity invites action. Instead of saying you must transform your entire life this month, start with today. Instead of saying you must master everything immediately, focus on learning one lesson. Instead of saying success requires 100 moves, focus on the next one. Life becomes lighter when the mind becomes clearer. And clarity begins when you remove unnecessary complexity. 3 words. Keep it simple. You do not need a complicated plan to begin again. You do not need endless motivation. You do not need perfect timing. You need one step. Just one. One action today that moves you forward. One decision that honors your future. One moment of courage that replaces hesitation. Think about tomorrow morning. The sun will rise again. The world will move again. Time will continue. But the question is simple. Will you move too? Will you take a step? Will you simplify the journey enough to begin? Your future is not built in giant leaps. It is built in small steps repeated with consistency. Step by step. Day by day. Action by action. That is how mountains are climbed. That is how dreams are built. That is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Remember the wisdom of Hughes. Keep it simple. When you simplify your focus, your energy becomes powerful. When your energy becomes focused, progress becomes inevitable. So start today, not perfectly, simply. And if you want more reminders like this to stay focused and keep moving forward, subscribe and continue this journey with us. Because every step you take matters, and together we keep reminding each other that sometimes the most powerful path forward is the simplest one. Your next step is waiting. Take it.